About 5 years ago, I started a little side business. In fact, I was sitting in a hospital while my wife was giving birth to my fourth little boy. Yes, I have 4 boys. And I was sitting in the kind of waiting room in the cafe area of the hospital, and I started building my first website. I'd been studying online, learning how to make a website, learning some different kind of business models. I have no business background at all. I'm a pastor. I lead a church here in Hong Kong. So doing a business was a brand new thing for me. I'd only ever really had jobs. I mean, I'd thought about the idea. I always had the desire to do something entrepreneurial, but I'd never actually followed through on that. So I was in my 30s and in the middle of having 4 kids, back-to-back pregnancies, and I started my business that day as my wife was kind of recovering from giving birth to my youngest. And that was about 5 years ago. And I would say that it's really had a huge impact on my life. The finance that has come in has been a big blessing, but it's not just that. It's more than just the money. It's been, I guess, the skills that I've learned. It's been all the great people that I've met. It's the opportunities that I feel are out there that get me excited. It's the motivation. It almost feels a bit like a game. It's become a bit of a hobby to me, building a side business. And yet there are financial benefits to this that bless my family, allow us to be more generous and have, more holidays and things like this. It's a good thing. And so I really wish that I had started so much earlier. There was no reason that I couldn't. I just had a whole lot of wrong thinking. And so maybe you're a complete beginner to the whole online business thing. Maybe you've worked a 9-to-5 your whole life, or maybe you're just coming out from university and you're young and you've got all these ideas, but you've never actually started a business and you don't know where to start. Let me tell you, one of the things that can kill our business, kill our side business, kill that little dream we have in our heart is being a perfectionist. I think being a perfectionist can be a real enemy to the entrepreneur. And yes, we should desire to make a great product or to build a great business, but I think perfectionism really stops us from taking those early steps that are never going to be perfect in the beginning. In fact, for me, I've lived in Japan. I now live in Hong Kong. I've been here for about 12 years. And I'm in a multilingual environment, and I'm very bad at speaking languages. And the reason I'm bad is because I don't want to make mistakes. And so I don't try as much as I should. And I think it's exactly the same with business, is we don't try because we want to get the right thing, and it just never happens. And so maybe you've heard this question before. When was the best time to invest in Amazon? Or when was the best time to invest in Bitcoin? Well, obviously it was back then when it was really cheap, and now, it's so much more valuable. But the second best time is today, is to get in today, is to start something today. And I think that kind of concept we can apply to our business is that, we've already lost that time in the past. So why don't we just start today? And I don't know what you believe in, but I've got a great scripture here in Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4. It says, "He who watches the wind, waiting for all conditions to be perfect, will not sow seed, and he who looks at the clouds will not reap a harvest." If we're waiting around for everything to be perfect, we are never gonna see that result that we're believing for. So I've got a few steps to encourage you as a complete beginner. I know what it feels like, and yes, I believe God has great things for you, and that there is a great side business within you, especially if you've made it this far into this video. So a few thoughts. Number 1, just start. The key is movement. Okay, it doesn't matter that you're not going fast. It's not about speed. It's about movement. Okay? You don't need to set deadlines of, I want to make this much money by this amount of time. I want to have this kind of business by this time next year. Just forget all of that. Take the pressure off and just start. Start learning something that's monetizable. Start learning a digital skill that you could sell. Anything. Making websites, managing social media, using ChatGPT to make something. I don't know, Canva, graphic design, whatever it is. Just start learning something. Just get some movement. Start learning a skill today. Maybe it's going to take you 6 months before that skill is at the level where you could charge someone. That's okay. 6 months. No worries. You'll be better off in 6 months than you are right now. So just start. It's not about speed. It's about movement. Number 2, understand the keys to success, or the 5 steps to success. And I saw this diagram by Ray Dalio. He's a billionaire. I think he's a hedge fund manager or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, one of those billionaire guys, and he's got a great, set of principles that talk about kind of success and moving towards what you really want to do in your life. And let me put it up on the screen here. It's got this image where basically you have this goal. That's the first thing, is maybe your goal is to make an extra $1,000 a month for your family, or $2,000 a month. And we're not saying it's to be a multimillionaire. It's just a little bit, just maybe $500 a month. That would be a real blessing to your family. Okay, you've got this goal, and you think, okay, I'm going to start building websites. And so you start building websites, and then you come up to some problems, and you realize, it's not actually as easy as I first thought. And you encounter these problems, and oh no, actually there's more problems than I thought. And you come to this diagnosis phase where you're realizing, actually I fully understand the problem now. I fully understand the weakness of this business model and the challenges that I'm going to have. And this is when you're at your low point, and you've essentially had these fails, and you've this optimism. This is when optimism can kind of die. This is where you can kind of give up. And a lot of people do. They'll just go through these first steps. They'll have the goal, they'll encounter some problems and quit. And then they'll go and find something else because it'll look great. And then, the grass is greener over here. I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to do something with AI or ChatGPT or whatever. And then they realize, it's not as easy as I thought, and they quit once they understand the situation more. But every business is hard. Everything is difficult. And the next thing is we've got to move towards design. So we're going to start solving these problems. Okay, we're going to design solutions around these things. And so it's come through failure. It's come through hitting a wall where you don't know what to do, and you're on YouTube and you're looking for solutions to, how do I make that in Photoshop, or how do I do that in Canva, or working on your digital skill to overcome that problem. You're designing a solution, and then you're doing it. You're doing it well. There's some excellence. There's a high level skill. And so I love this because that's what you do. You go through that process, that cycle, and then you go again, and then you go again, and then you go again. And that's this trajectory up. And if you zoom out, it just looks up as you zoom out. But if you zoom in, you see all these little fail cycles, these failing and overcome cycles. That's normal. And it's a bit different than just getting a job, a 9-to-5 job where you're paid for your time. Of course, we still experience failure and that kind of stuff in a job situation, but I think this is a little bit different when you're looking at the bigger picture of your life and moving towards an area of passion, or moving towards this goal that you have in your life. So understand these 5 steps to success so that you don't get discouraged when you hit one of those steps and it turns out to be a little bit more difficult than you originally thought. So that's the second point. And then my last point is just to repeat. And I said it's a loop, it's a cycle that you keep looping, keep cycling, keep repeating, and you'll get better and better and better. And here's the cool thing. If you just focus on one thing, and if you don't get distracted and go, I want to help Instagram, help small businesses with their Instagram. Wait, change. I want to help some businesses with some graphic design, or managing a newsletter, or some other kind of digital marketing skill. If you don't get distracted and change every 6 months, you will get better and better and better. You'll be able to charge more. Over time, if you don't quit, you cannot lose. You cannot lose. I'm telling you, if you just stick with it, you don't have to be that great. You start off, you're just doing it average, and over time, you move towards excellence. Not perfection, but excellence. Yeah, that is the goal. It would be great to be excellent, but you don't start there. No one starts there. And I wish I started years ago. I want to encourage you, don't make the mistake I have made. I don't care how old you are, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or whatever. At any age, you can do this thanks to the internet, thanks to YouTube, which is going to be your online university, thanks to encouraging YouTube channels like this, or practical YouTube channels is going to teach you the skill, and then cheap kind of software services that you can go out there and learn how to make a website on Squarespace for just, I don't know, $20 a month. Get a ChatGPT account for $20 a month and start offering some services as you learn how to make content. I don't know, whatever it is, it's not going to cost you a lot. Anyone can do this if you're just committed to it. So start today, my friend, and you will not regret it. In a few months' time, in a few years' time, you're gonna be thanking me. Okay, and but really, you've done all the work, and you deserve it. So just start today. All right, if you like this content, well, I have so many more videos talking about building side businesses, moving towards a bigger purpose in our life, building businesses and not letting it sacrifice our family, or and keeping the greater purpose as the main thing. So if you want to know more about this kind of content, check out the rest of my videos on this channel. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.